All right, everybody. Good late morning or early afternoon. We're going to do more quarterbacks. And again, these are day three quarterbacks. These are the quarterbacks that aren't quite the hot commodities. These are quarterbacks that, in all likelihood, will not make it. But if they do, you're getting tremendous value because these are going to be your picks past the top 100. And first up in this video is going to be my crush, my favorite, my number one, Joe Milton of the Tennessee Volunteers. And I've been into this guy for a while now, and I understand that there are big problems. Don't get me wrong. There are big, obvious problems. But it's going to be cheap. I don't know where he's going to get drafted, but it could be anywhere from the start of day three to he could go undrafted. He really could. I have no idea what to expect here, but it's not going to be that much, and the reward for hitting on him would be tremendous. 24 years old, 6'5", 235 pounds. He's the biggest quarterback in this draft, I think, by a pretty decent margin, too. He is a prototype in size. 33 and 3/8 inch arms, 10 and a quarter inch hands, so he's big. He's a big dude. And that's something that even like Drake May doesn't have. Drake May isn't that big. He did his jumps at the combine. That's about it, which disappointed me because I think he does have a good 40 in him, but his vertical jump was okay. His broad jump was good. The big boards, Draft Network really likes him, has him in the third. PFF, ESPN, they have him in like the fifth. CBS has him going undrafted. Mock Draft Database has him going in the fifth round. If I had to guess, I'd say fifth round is where he ends up, but there is tremendous variance here. He really only has one season of full stats because in previous years he was on the bench. He was on the bench behind Hendon Hooker, and then Hooker got hurt, and he played a little bit, but 2023 was his only full season. 2,800 yards, 65% completion, 20 touchdowns, 5 picks, 300 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. So, dual threat, accurate, efficient, mistake free. That's what the numbers look like, right? That's what the numbers look like in that Tennessee offense, right? That's the picture that is painted. But we know it's not true. Unfortunately, we know it's not true because we actually watch him play. So let's talk about Joe Milton as a actual football player right now. So the good stuff is the size, like I already said. He's got the biggest arm, I think, in this draft class. I think he has a better arm than Penix. I think he has a better arm than Caleb. He's got an absolute cannon, can launch the ball into orbit. Absolutely remarkable arm strength. And he's going to be able to make all the throws. The question is, can he make those throws accurately? He can use his legs to make plays as well. He had an 80-yard touchdown run last year, so it's not just like, oh, 5 yards here, 6 yards there, 13-yard run there. Ooh, that was a big one. No, this guy can do Lamar Jackson stuff. This guy can do Anthony Richardson stuff. He's got the ability to peel off a big run. His escapability in and outside the pocket is strong, hard to bring down, hard to get a good hit on, hard to end. He just kind of keeps going and going and going because he's strong and elusive and fast and quick and all of it. He throws on the run pretty well. He might have tight end upside if he washes out at quarterback as well. And I know that sounds like a joke. It's not. If this guy does not make it as a NFL quarterback, you can always bump him to a different position, and he's such a good athlete, he might be able to pull it off. But the problems are very obvious with Joe Milton. He's extremely inaccurate, like really, really bad. Anticipatory throws elude him. I think he's like I think there was a stat. He completes about 30% of his passes that are more than 10 yards down the field. He has no accuracy at all, no ability to throw receivers open. He's he's easy to read. You just follow his eyes. He's going to lock onto his receiver. You follow his eyes. You're going to get the ball. He throws a consistent fastball. He has no changeup. He doesn't have a slow ball. He does not have the ability to feather his throws yet, hasn't shown it. And he doesn't process information the way you need a quarterback to in the NFL. He's just one read and go, sometimes two read and go, but really processing a defense is not part of his repertoire yet. So he's got the tools, man. The tools are there. He's got a crazy amount of tools. But he's not a quarterback right now, not an NFL quarterback anyway. And it might be a couple years before he's a real quarterback. This is like Anthony Richardson X10, man. And I think that he has a lot of the potential that Anthony Richardson does, but the odds of him making it are just a lot lower because we have not seen the ability to run a normal offense. Like, the thing is, in Tennessee, think about how simplified that offensive system is. Look at what Hendon Hooker did in that offense, as the Hawks Nest pointed out on our stream last night. So he could be a superstar, but it's going to be really hard for him to get there. So I personally like him enough to throw a fourth round pick at him because the reward would be so great to hit. But I understand that that's probably me liking him a little more than I should because I'm in love with the potential and I'm willing to overlook the fact that it's just probably not going to happen. All right, next guy I want to look at here that's currently hanging around like the back end of the draft is Sam Hartman. Definitely less exciting than Joe Milton. I'm just going to lead up with that one. So, Sam Hartman of Notre Dame, going to be 25 when the draft starts, which I think makes him the oldest quarterback in this class. 6'1", 211 pounds, 31 and 3/8 arms, 9 and 3/4 hands, 4'8", 40, 163, 10-yard split. Didn't jump very well. 3-cone was bleh. 20-yard shuttle was bleh. So not a very athletic or fast or quick player or anything like that. Not explosive. ESPN and Walter Football like him. Walter Football thinks he's going in the 4th round, which I think they need to reevaluate that. CBS and PFF thinks he's going to go undrafted. And the mock draft database has him going in about the 5th or 6th round, which I could see that, I guess. Although, in my eye, this guy's barely a draftable candidate. Production fell off pretty heavily in 2023. Threw for 1,000 less yards, 14 less touchdowns, 4 less interceptions. But efficiency was basically about the same. He just threw less overall, I think. So, not necessarily a different player from 2022 to 2023. So, his decision making seems pretty good. He's pretty decisive. He goes through his reads and actually makes a throw based on what the defense is showing him. He has a nice deep ball. He's able to extend plays with his legs better than you would expect from his testing numbers. And he's able to go off script and still make a decent play. But there's not much accuracy. He's inaccurate. He's got bad fundamentals on like the way he throws the ball, his throwing motion, his follow through, which leads to turnovers. Sometimes he doesn't seem to follow what the defense should be giving him. He stares down his targets, so you follow his eyes, you're going to get the ball. His fastball, he's got no speed. He doesn't have an NFL arm. He's throwing change-ups out there all day. Doesn't have the ability to really zip it in there, and he's small. He's short. He's 6'1". So I could see him being a backup maybe in this league, but I'm not sure he even gets there. There's way too much wrong with Sam Hartman and not enough right. So 7th round at best, and I'm not even sure about that. I think you can do better with a 7th round pick than even somebody like a Sam Hartman. So not really feeling this one, and there really isn't that much to say. Like the positives are, it's almost like a backhanded compliment, right? Because like able to extend plays with his legs, that's great, but these testing numbers tell me that he's not going to be able to do that in the NFL very well. He's effective when off script and trying to create, but he also has bad fundamentals when he's off script, and that leads to some of his turnovers. He's got 20 interceptions over the last 2 years. So, yeah, I'm pretty uninterested in Sam Hartman. He's already 25, by the way. If he was going to be a better quarterback than this, he would have been it by now. But, yeah, that's my take on Sam Hartman. So, more quarterbacks coming later. Let me know what you think about these two. See you guys later, and go Hawks.